Rough week for Wiz Khalifa. DJs around the world have vowed to never play his music again. What up, world? Your boy Charles Brown back again for another Talking Facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit that notification bell. CLBMG all day, every day. So Wiz got in a bit of trouble, bro, and I'm gonna talk about it. It's this little clip that went viral. I'm gonna play it real quick. Let me know if you can hear it or not, because you gotta hear this to understand what happened. But Wiz went off on some DJs, right? In LA. Two DJs, Mike Danger and MC Tron, called them horrible. So I want to play a little bit of the audio and we can take it from there. Let me see. Bitch ass nigga, if you want to fight, nigga, we can do it. Y'all niggas suck, don't help me, bitch. Y'all niggas suck. Play my new shit, nigga. Play badass bitches. Y'all are horrible DJs. Now, I came here tonight to promote for y'all and have a good ass time and have a great time. But you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna sit here and let these whole ass niggas like this shit is acceptable. I'm a real ass nigga, dog. My album just came out today. So what happened was in that audio clip, right? Wiz was upset apparently because they were messing up his set. So how so, you may say. So let's just get into this whole situation. I didn't know what was going on. I see this video from Kid Capri, and he's talking about how Wiz Khalifa disrespect these DJs and how he would have swung on them if it was him. I'm like, dang, these dudes out of their back, because you don't really hear Kid Capri talking about that, and you don't hear Wiz talking about that. Wiz talking crazy on here, and a lot of people's like, Wiz is now he tough because he taking MMA classes. Now he want to go at the DJs. DJs around the world. That is a tough fraternity to try to have any type of problem with. They stick together because they know how tough it is. People run up on DJs. They smack DJs. They break the DJs' needles, or they try to threaten them, and because they feel like the DJs are the gatekeepers. So a lot of times the DJ is not the tough guy. He's just a guy that loves music and started playing music and gets paid to play music. So all of a sudden you get this big giant artist or his crew coming up trying to force you to play his records and do all kind of stuff to you so you can play his music. Or he want to give you money to play it, whatever you want to do. DJs got a tough time out there. They got drunk girls coming up. I play Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? It's like a reggae night. They want you to play Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a whole thing they got to deal with. So they kind of stick together because they know how tough it is. Now, with this situation, when I first heard it, I was like, Wiz not really like that. Wiz don't be, because he smacked the guy hat off his head. The video tells half the story. It got really crazy. He supposedly offered to fight the guys. So it got really, really crazy. And you're like, I've never heard of Wiz Khalifa ever even once having beef with nobody. Even when Kanye was talking about his girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really never had problems. You never seen him react and retaliate. You always thought this is the one guy that you can count on to be calm in a situation. But this one, and I want to get into why he felt that he had to go that way. I want to read from this article on TMZ. All right. Wiz had an actual interview with DJ Envy. He had to sit down with DJ Envy and DJ Drama. So here's the article. Wiz Khalifa is finally breaking his silence about his angry tirade toward a pair of LA-based DJs inside a nightclub. He's admitting he was out of line. During a special edition of Breakfast Club, DJ Envy took it upon himself to interview Wiz alongside DJ Drama to rep for all the turntablists worldwide, who may both have been bothered at the sight of the rapper trashing their backup. Wiz didn't hide behind his celebrity, admitting he wasn't too big to say he was sorry. Quote, I apologize for anybody I've offended, sincerely, the Taylor Gang CEO said to kick off the interview before explaining what happened. According to Wiz, he was booked at Club Poppy in WeHo to promote his new album, Multiverse. But when it came time for his time on the mic, the song order, which his team had sent beforehand, was out of whack. Also, other songs not included in the set list randomly popped up during the performance. That's annoying, bro. Like, you're trying to perform and these dudes are getting crazy. So he just lost his cool. And I feel like, so I've done probably hundreds, if not thousands of shows, right? And sometimes I use a DJ, most times I use a DJ. Sometimes I DJ the show myself, depending on the size of the venue, right? And it's a tough gig to be a DJ at these shows, but one thing you don't want to do is mess up people's sets. That's where the problem comes. When you start messing up, especially a national act like Wiz, that's what you're there for. Like maybe you do this club every single night of the week, but for that particular show, you're there for that rapper. When he goes up, that artist, singer, dancer, whatever they do is their time. You can't be still fumbling with your laptop. So apparently when one song will come on, it'd be another song playing in the other at the same time. That means you got your Serato on and you're not paying attention to what you're doing. Or you're trying to sabotage it. There is zero reason. At the end of the day, you're supposed to move your hands away from the turntable. Let that man music play. Shouldn't be no incidents of no other music coming on while this guy's rapping. That's going to infuriate anybody. And I think the story really blew up because it's Wiz. Right? Now let's say, for instance, right? I'm trying to think of somebody that we know. Let's say like a Tony Yayo, right? Or somebody that we know, like an NBA YoungBoy, or somebody that we know going nuts out. A Kodak Black, right? That you mess his setup while he rapping, and another song come on, then it's the wrong song, and all songs out of order. What you think this guy gonna act like? It won't even make the news. It'll make a little blip on this. Kodak Black goes off on DJ, then something else will come on. It won't be that much of a problem because he's known for bugging out. Right? Somebody that's volatile, that's known for this, is going to not be really bombarded with a lot of DJs. I'm not going to play his music. You know what I'm saying? I know that, who was that a couple years ago got into it with a DJ and they were not going to play his music. Was it Wale? It was somebody. Somebody did something. It'll come to me probably the last dang on minute. Somebody did something, went up and did something to a DJ about his set, and a lot of DJs were like, they're not going to play his music. Maybe was it Wale? I'm not sure who it was. They got mad at the DJ. But end of the day, that fizzled out and they moved on, right? But I think since it's Wiz and he's not known for that, it's very shocking. And a lot of people are like, oh, he don't even act tough. Why is he now? He's slapping DJs' hats off their head and now he wants to fight them. No, that story going to blow. This story got so big that, first of all, TMZ has been covering it for days. Not only that, he had to sit down in a Breakfast Club in an impromptu meeting in a daggone one of the back offices. This wasn't even like on air. They went to an office. They went to like some conference room and they hooked up mics and did the interview in there. It's totally just guerrilla style. They just threw the interview together because it's such a big story now. When you got all these DJs saying they'll never play his music again. I deleted all his stuff from my Serato. I broke all his records. Like, I'm on my timeline. A couple DJs are like, I broke his records, started, I'll never play. They ain't even waiting for the other side of the story. They just saw him bugging out and they're like, I never liked him anyway. He thinks he's all that and no one knew the album was out. Like, it's crazy, right? He mad because he's losing and then whatever. So I want to talk about his side of the story, right? And I get it. You're never supposed to touch a DJ. I would never hit a DJ. I had Keith Murray came. I did Keith Murray, the Keith Murray from back in the day. We did a show with him. And he stood on my DJ's tables, ruined his Serato needles. He stood on the table so he didn't jump in the crowd from the table. I have the footage. I put it up and everything. Ruined that DJ's tables. Now, a lot of people are like, that was a great moment. No, that was history. But the DJ got disrespected. He had to buy new needles. He don't like Keith Murray to this day. They hold on to that stuff, right? They can't stand an artist that does something to them in a negative way because it's disrespectful and it never, ever, like, changes the way they feel about that artist. So a lot of people are negatively affected with this, and they're never going to let it go. No matter what he said in his interview. Even though when I first saw it, I was just very disappointed. But then I was like, there's always something else to the story, right? Every viral moment, there's something on the other side. Just like the viral moment of the guy going into the daycare just happened about 3-4 days ago where he's punching, he's hitting every female in sight. They got him on camera. He bam, 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 one chick to the ground. The next chick, she's bam, 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 bam. He hits her. She goes slumped up on it. Then another chick, she comes up to him. He speaks to her very aggressively. She turns her back on him, and he throws a wild haymaker. Bam, she goes to sleep. She's on the face down on the ground, sleep. And you're like, this guy's an animal. They need to lock him up the rest of his life. He doesn't deserve freedom, right? Then you go in the comments, you realize his daughter was abused at the school. They threw her across the room. They got footage of them. They did it more than once. They did it on 2 separate days. And the video footage came out. She had a gash on her head that these women in this school were abusing these kids. And they would pick them up. They were like 5, 6 years old and throw them across the room for whatever reason. And the girl hit her head and she told the parents that the girl fell. And then it happened again. So they found out from some video footage. I don't know how these people are doing this stuff when there's video footage, when they got videos in the school that you're going to think you're going to throw a kid. So he went up to the school, did Floyd Mayweather on him, and then the whole narrative change of why he did that. Now he's not a monster. He's a dad protecting his daughter, right? So it's always more than one side to this stuff. So I was like, what really happened? What made this man so upset? Because I was on the DJ side. I'm like, you don't do that. That's some punk stuff. You don't do that to no DJ, right? Come to find out, these guys they really were horrible DJs. For whatever reason, they can't control their equipment because, for one, you're messing the song order up. They only had 5 songs. They only had 5 songs. The DJ got slick, wanted to play his old stuff. He wanted to hype it up, which is a no-no. This is what I want to say. I personally kind of understand it, but I kind of don't in a way. But this is how artists think. I've been doing shows for 12 to 15 years with national artists. They cannot stand when you play their music before they come out. They cannot stand it. I've seen and heard of DJs getting screamed on. I can hit 3 or 4 DJs who got screamed on for trying to hype the crowd up with the music of the artist that's about to come out. They hate it. You understand? Don't do it. When you got freaking Remy Ma about to come out, and you want to do your best Remy Ma set, or you want to do your best Nicki set, or you want to do your best Drake set, that's not the time. Because they feel like when they're coming out, the crowd already heard the songs. So the energy you're going to give the crowd from playing that song, right? They already got it. So now they're going to, in their mind, they can't get hype again when I come out to do it because they just heard it 20 minutes ago when you played it. You ruined the moment. So they get extremely upset. So when Wiz is about to come out, they start playing a bunch of old Wiz Khalifa stuff. So he's like, right there, you already strike one. You're not supposed to play my stuff when it's my show. I know many artists that do that. Like I said, I know an artist that got screamed on. Somebody screamed on him. It might have been either Styles P or somebody screamed on this DJ. What are you doing? You don't play the artist. So I know how he felt. So they started playing his old stuff. And then when he came out, they were playing this, they didn't play the songs he sent. And then when they found the songs he sent, they started playing them and then they played some stuff in the middle of it. So it made this man upset. That notably is very important information when you're going to delete all his music and defend all DJs. The DJ got to do their job too, low key, right? The DJ low key has to be responsible for their job. Should he hit the guy hat off his head? No, he shouldn't have did that. That's wrong. He apologized for that, right? Should he have spazzed on the DJs? I know a lot of artists who would have went more than spazzed on them, right? I know quite a few artists that would have went more than spazzed on them. It would have been a whole thumping in that club for that. But since it's Wiz, it's a whole big deal, and I get it. He's wrong. Sometimes we make mistakes. We human. He's wrong, and I understand that he's wrong. But I, for one, feel like the apology is big of him because he literally could have been like, them dudes was trash and I don't care. You don't want to play my music no more. Who cares? You just a random DJ. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't like that. So I want to say he's wrong, right? Now, I don't know these 2 DJs. I don't know them like that because I don't know these guys' names. I don't know them from, a hole in the head, right? I don't know DJ Mike Danger and I don't know MC Tron. I'm not from LA. But apparently they were young and they were less experienced. But that's part of the game. When you are a DJ, you're on the hot seat when you get up there and you don't know what you're doing. I think a lot of people jumping on Wiz because they feel like Wiz washed up and so he's bad at that. Or nobody knew his album was out, or he think he's tough because he's doing MMA. I feel like he responded over the top nonetheless, but he responded to the energy he was given. It seemed like they was trying to sabotage him in his mind. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me know what you think about this. Are DJs around the world overreacting to Wiz, or do you don't care what he said? You don't care about his apology. You don't have nothing to say to him. You deleted his music. You're all set with him. You'll never play his stuff again. F Black and Yellow. You let me know what you think in the comments. Charles Brown, CLBMG Network, all day, every day. Make sure you check that out. The mobile app is on the way. The Roku channel and the Fire Stick channel are months away. We are about to roll, and it's going to get serious. I'm going to catch you on the flip side. Peace.
CLB.